Okay, we're here. Hi, I am
Hi.
Jeffri-Lynn. How are you?
Awesome.
Good. I am Jeffri-Lynn Campbell with Blaze Experts, and I am here today talking to Samone Beitler. She is a client of mine, and we built a brand together. And I can't wait to tell you all about her. Hi, Samone.
Hi, Jeffri-Lynn. Thank you so much for having me today. It's such a delight to see your smiling face.
Yay! It's good to have you here. First of all, tell everybody what you do, because you're not just a realtor for a million years. You have branched out, you do other things. And don't you like bike and stuff? Aren't you like a super healthy girl?
Yes. If in my second life, I'm going to be a naturopath.
Okay, okay.
So yes, I love health and wellness. I cycle, paddleboard, mountain bike a little bit with my husband. And I just love the outdoors. We've got a blue healer, so a lot of hiking. So anything outside.
I love that. And
And
um,
water, drink lots of water.
I got you, girl. You taught me well. Okay, and how did you get here? Like, what got you into being a realtor in the first place and investing, and now another kind of investing? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so what really got me into real estate was property management in the beginning, 28 years ago. So I started when I was 2. I started in property management. We manage apartment complexes as well as office buildings. And I worked for a regional director, so I was the right-hand gal at that time. And we managed properties in Arizona, New Mexico, California, and Nevada. So that is how I got my start, and became pregnant, and my husband wanted me to stay at home. So I started being a transaction coordinator for another very busy, highly successful realtor. And during that time, I really figured, hey, I can do this. And so I got licensed and began my journey.
No kidding. So it was serendipity.
You could say that.
Yeah. Now, you weren't in Phoenix at the time, were you?
Yes.
Okay, so you've always been a Phoenician.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Um, what makes your business different?
Well, what makes my business different is I'm continue to learn, and I never think that I know it all. Humility, so staying humble. And if I need to know something, I know where to go find the answer. And I have no problem telling the client, I'm not sure about that. Let me look into it and get back to you. So, honesty, along with just being real with people, being honest, and coming back to them with their answer later. The other thing I like to do is to sit down and have an initial consultation with somebody. And what that would look like is a 45-minute meet and greet, if you will, at the office, so that there's quiet setting. Coffee shops tend to get a little noisy. And I really want the focus to be on the client. So with that, we go through what their needs and their goals are, and then how can I help them with all this knowledge and experience that I have?
Awesome. That sounds very familiar. When I look at, I'm going to my bookshelf. I haven't disappeared. Sounds very familiar from when we did your brand together.
This,
I
I have it. I reference it often.
I am looking. I was, yeah, knowledge, integrity, honesty.
Yeah.
Your values right there. It always comes out, doesn't it, in the wash?
You know, it really does. People
This
talk
is
about,
driving me crazy. Okay.
everybody talks about technology, and when it comes down to it, real estate is a large investment, whether it's home ownership or if it's somebody's getting into investing, which really investing is a plan to get to the next step of something else.
Mhm.
And it might be retirement, it may be a college fund for somebody's children, it could be numerous things. But to sit down and find out what somebody's goal is, and then being able to be a mentor to them and an advisor.
That is right, because it's consultative, right? And
Yeah.
you're advising them along the way. I can't imagine going through that kind of transaction without a guide to do it. Um, so speaking of that differentiation and how we kind of positioned you and went through everything to build your brand,
Yes.
tell me what, because you had been doing this for 25 years before we even came together and built your brand for you. So how has having a brand that you can stand behind, how has that changed how you do business or how you feel about your business or anything along that line?
Well, I feel like it gave me a vehicle as far as like having a voice, having a vision, having a mission, and to really sit with that and think about what does that truly mean from my heart to translate it out to somebody else. And really I just have a love for people and a servant's heart. A helper, if you will. I don't ever look at myself as higher than somebody else. Yes, I have a lot of knowledge and I'm well influential in my area, but I never want to be flamboyant in that manner. So I am kind of a neutral person. I really like to build one-on-one connections. And through doing that, I have really created a culture, if you will, where people refer me all the time. I will tell you, I have not sought after cold lead business probably in 15 years.
That's excellent.
So, branding with you also helped me to just recognize that I needed branding. I didn't even know I needed it. And you were so hilarious. So, while we were branding, everybody who's watching this, she is like the mad scientist. She's drawing circles and she's asking you off the wall questions, which you may say, what in the world does this have to do with branding? And she comes back with the most phenomenal plan that is totally you. And you're like, how did you get that out of all those circles that you were drawing? And she does a fabulous job. I think you were point on, exactly expressive of who I was without me even really realizing what you were doing.
I love that. I had my hand on the button ready to hit stop if you said if you said anything back. I'm just kidding. I
I have
did.
nothing but good to say about Jeffri-Lynn and Blaze Experts.
I think one of my favorite things was when you came when we did your brand reveal, and you said, "Oh my God!" and you had tears in your eyes, and you were so emotional, and you looked at me and you said, I'm even wearing the colors today that you built my brand around. And that was like, yeah, that was the yay moment where we nailed it. We got it right.
It was fun. It was such a fun journey figuring out the brand and going down that road. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love that for you. Okay, now my favorite question.
Yes.
Tell me about you said 28 years you've been doing this.
Yes.
So you probably had a few fuck ups.
Whew, yeah. Let's see. I had to really search for
The top
which one
one?
should we share?
You
Um,
can share more than one.
I am going to share one that happened about 20 years ago. And with that, there were two ladies and I. We were all in real estate. We were kicking butt. We were high producers. And we thought, let's open a brokerage. Well, with all of our excitement, we were not very business savvy. Okay, a lot of excitement, but not really business savvy. And we go in, I mean, we bought a building, We're building out our building. We're recruiting realtors. We're doing all this stuff. Well, we came to one point in our business planning to where we needed an LLC. And in that, we didn't want to spend money. So we were saving money by copying an individual who had an LLC. We just took her LLC and creatively tweaked it to fit our needs. Okay. Well, a little later down the road, my husband and I decided that it was my time and focus was needed at home. And so I went to the girls and expressed this, and they understood. And when I went to transition out of the partnership, the attorney I was using said, "Who in the hell wrote this?" Well, let me put you at ease. It wasn't a professional. And told him what we did, and he just slammed his fist down on the desk and just said a few choice words. And that's when I quickly learned that what we had done had created a giant mess, especially if our partner wanted to exit out of the business. We had no protocol to say if one of us was deceased, what would happen. We didn't have a protocol for somebody to leave the business, and many other things. So
you had no operating agreement at all.
Well, kind of, sort of, but not the right one.
Okay.
It was a jacked up mess. How about that? Like, I'm glad that we're talking about this, because if I can help one person to avoid ever doing this, don't cut corners, especially when it comes to legality stuff. Okay. So what ended up happening is we had to get a whole new LLC operating agreement. And thank goodness that we weren't all fighting and in resistance to one another, because this would not have gone as smoothly as it did. So we got a whole new one, adopted that one. We all signed off on it, and then transitioned into me leaving. But it was.
You were a lucky girl.
We all were. Yes, absolutely. Because we were still friends, and we're still friends today. But I'm just saying, in partnerships, there are times you're going to see sides of people that you didn't know you were going to see. And so, with that, you certainly want to make sure your legal ducks are in a row and that it's appropriate for the business that you're conducting. So, how do you like that?
I'm glad that was a fuck up you learned from that didn't fuck you up.
Oh, yeah. And it could have.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
And we all had over $100,000 invested in this company. So it could have gone south. It really could have.
Wow. I'm so glad it didn't.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
And you were able to continue and do your thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to share something along the lines of me not just being a realtor. And I want to share an example of what recently happened. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I had a young man come to me. He's in the Air Force. He's a new fighter pilot, about 25 years old, and he wanted to buy a house. So last October, we bought him a house. I get a call last week. Hey, I need to meet you. I needed to know what it would look like to have a buy and hold business, because I got to move. So in a very short period of time, not only did he become a first-time home buyer, but now he's getting moved with his job, and it's very possible he's going to get deployed when he gets there. So because I had shared with him about investing while we were looking for property, he felt comfortable enough to call me back and say, hey, remember when we talked about this? Now I'm in this position, so can we have another meeting and talk about what does it look like and what steps do I need to take to get a business, to make this a rental property, so that I can move. And when I'm deployed, I'm not going to be burdened with what happens with rental property. So that's a prime example of educating my clients of what I do. So I go above and beyond just the regular home ownership, finding of houses and selling of houses. And so he's on his way to have his first rental property at 25 years old. And with being a pilot, other pilots have told him, you need to start collecting rental properties as you move around. So I was super excited that he called me. We had a great meeting, and now he's on his way to get his LLC and his EIN number and get himself protected.
That is awesome. And I'm not surprised. Knowing you, I'm not surprised that you help people that way. But and what a great start for that young man.
Oh, absolutely.
25 and already investing in property. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so speaking of, as a realtor, as an investor, as an educator in investment and all things real estate-ish, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you? Give me your website, give me all your info, do your thing.
All right, thank you.
Tell us to follow you on Insta.
Okay. Actually, I'm a little bit embarrassed to tell you, I don't even know what my Insta is. My husband always is sending me stuff. Hey, look at what's on your Instagram. I'm like, I need to get
But I see you on Facebook a lot. So I guess
yes, I am on Facebook. So let's start there. Facebook is Samone Beitler, PC.
I don't know why we didn't fix that.
Let's just spell my name. Samone and Beitler, Beitler. You'll find me. On my website is arizonasbestrealestateagent.com. Have a fabulous website, so check me out there. And if you want to text me or call me, I'm at 602-390-1462.
Awesome. That's every way we can get in touch with you.
Every way.
Thanks so much for your time. It's great to see you.
Yes, thank you for having me, and it's great to see you. So let's have lunch soon.
Yes, let's.
Okay, we'll plan it.
Okay.
Take care.